This is part 4. It's on solving simultaneous equation word problems. Okay, now each of these problems that you will see will have two equations and also two variables. Normally the variables are x and y, but you can actually use any letters you like. So if you're dealing with apples, you could have A for apples, B for bananas, etc. So you don't have to just use X and Y. You can use letters that represent the item you're interested in. But in this first question, we're only interested in regular numbers. So we'll just use X and Y here. Okay, so in our first part of the sentence, it says we have the sum of two numbers is 138, and sum means addition. In the second part of the sentence, the difference between the numbers is 88, and difference is subtraction. And we let both of our first numbers be x and y here. So for the first part, we'll have x plus y is 138, the equation 1. And then we have the second equation, which would be x minus y is 88. This could also be written as y minus x because we don't specify which number is bigger. Okay, but I'll use x minus y in this question. So what we'll do now, we can either add or subtract these equations. I'll subtract them. So x minus x will be 0, cancel. And then we have y minus negative y, which is 2y. And 138 minus 88 is 50. Therefore, y must be 25 as the first number. So then take your second number and we can put it back into, for example, equation 1. So we'll have x plus y, which is 25, equals 138. So then x will be 138 minus 25, which will be 113. And that's x. So your two numbers are going to be 25 and 113. And that's your solution to the first question. What you should do is take your two numbers and check. When you add them, you get 138. And when we have 113 minus 25, we get 88. So you should take your initial solution that you found and then take these numbers and check they satisfy the original statement. Okay, in example 2, we have a basket that has 78 mangoes and oranges in total. If the number of mangoes is less than the number of oranges by 24, what is the number of mangoes and oranges in this basket? So in this question, I let x be the number of mangoes. We could also use m if you like. And let y be the number of oranges. And you could use O for that. In the first part of the sentence, the sum of the two numbers is 78. So that means x plus y will be 78 as the first equation. In this part, it says that the number of mangoes is less than the number of oranges by 24. That means if you had mangoes and you added 24 to that number, you'll get the number of oranges. So think very carefully when your statement is written like this. Okay, so we're going to have that as being x plus 24 equals y, which is the second equation. But you can see in this equation, we want to change the form around. let's have it in this form, x plus y or x minus y. So we write down equation 1 again. X plus y is 78, equation 1. And this will become x minus y equals minus 24. Equation 2. You can see why I did that, because I want to line up the x and I want to line up the y. And the whole number I'll put on the right side here. So in this case, we can add our two equations. We'll have x plus x, which is 2x. And you can see your y minus y will cancel to be 0. And 78 minus 24 is 54. So x in this case will be 27. So that's the number of mangoes, is 27. And so for the number of oranges, we could have x plus 24, which is y. I'm just using that equation there. So x is 27. So 27 plus 24 is y. In this case, y equals 51. So that is your number of oranges, 51. So it's probably a good idea you write out that as a sentence or a short statement. So number of mangoes equals 27, and the number of oranges is 51. And just write that as a final statement. In example 3, we have two students, and we state that if half of Ploy's money is 3 times Prawa's money, and 4 times the difference of Ploy's and Prawa's money is 3,000, how much money do Ploy and Prawa each have? Okay, so from this first sentence, well, let's let x be Ploy's money and y be Prawa's money here. Okay, so it says that half of Ploy's money, so half of Ploy's money, and Ploy's money is x, is equal to 3 times Prawa's money, which is 3y. Okay, so this gives you your first equation. What we can do there is just to rearrange that, multiply both sides by 2. Both sides. So you'll get x equals 3y, or x equals 6y, rather. So that's your first equation. Your second equation is here. 4 times the difference between Ploy's and Prawa's money is 3,000. So I'll have 4 times the difference between their money, x minus y, equals 3,000. So in this case, we can see here Ploy has more money. So that's why I put x first instead of having y first here. So this would be your second equation. But we can simplify this a bit. How about we divide both sides by 4 and cancel that? So x minus y equals 750. That's your second equation. So our two equations, let's do it again. So x equals 6y, equation 1. And then we have x minus y equals 750. as equation 2. Okay, so I'm thinking we can do a substitution here. So how about we put the 6y into x here? So I'll have 6y minus y equals 750. So that will give you 5y equals 750. The y will be 150. That's Prewal's money here, 150 baht. Okay, so we can go back to find Floyd's money because x equals 6y. Therefore, x equals 6 times 150, which will give you 900. So that there is Floyd's money here. So x equals 900. So we should write it out. We can write it here. So Floyd's money is x, which is 900 baht. And Prewal's money is 150 baht there. And again, you should put these numbers back into the original statements and check they are satisfying those statements. In example 4, we have a shop. They sell 8 small cans and 5 big cans of powdered milk, and the total cost is 7,360 baht. This will be your first equation. If the selling price of a big can is more than the small can by 120 baht, this will give you the second equation. What is the price of each size of powdered milk? Okay, so we let X be the selling price of a big can and Y be the selling price of a small can. So if you have one can, that would be written as 1x, which is x. If you have 6 cans, that would be written as 6x. So this would be the cost of 6 cans, for example. Okay, 5x would be the cost of 5 cans, the total cost. So our first equation, the 8 small cans. So that would be written as 8y. I'll put that second. And then 5 big cans. So that would be 5x. We'll put in the front. So this would be the cost of 5 cans, 5 big cans, and 8 small cans. That's the total cost of them. And we are told that that equals 7,360 baht. So 7,360 baht. That's equation 1. And in the second statement, here, we're told that the selling price of a big can is more than a small can by 120 baht. So we could write that as a small can plus 120 is equal to the cost of a big can. Okay, this is what this is telling us here. A small can plus 120 is a big can. And a small can is y. So it would be y plus 120 equals x. Okay, this would be second equation, but we should put it in here and tidy it up as x minus y. So just put the y on the other side. So x minus y equals 120. So that's your second equation here. So I'm thinking in this one, we should multiply this equation by 5. So equation 2, we'll multiply that by 5. So here we'll get 5x minus 5y equals 600. This is still equation 2, okay? So I'll write equation 1 again below that. So we have 5x plus 8y equals 7360. So these are our two equations we want here. Just mark that off there. So in this case, we can go equation 1 minus equation 2 here. So 5x minus 5x is 0. 8 minus negative 5 will be 13y. And 7360 minus 600 will be 6760. Okay, so then y would be equal to 520. So to find x, we can use that equation. So x minus y is 120, and we know y is 520. So in that case, x will equal 640. So that means that x, the big can, is 640 baht here, and y is the price of the small can, and that was 520 there. And again, you should take these numbers and substitute back to the original statements and check they're both correct. Example 5, we have a geometry problem. What it states is that we have an equilateral triangle, and if you forgot, equilateral triangles have the same length sides. So these are all the same length. We want to calculate the length of each side and give your answer in centimeters. So what we should do is form two equations. So what we could do, we could say that this side is equal to this side, which they are because they're equilateral. So we'll have 2x minus 7 equals x plus y minus 9. And we rearrange that. We'll get 2x minus x, which is x, minus y equals minus 9 plus 7. X minus y equals minus 2. That's your first equation. So we'll highlight that. First equation here. Then we can form another equation. So we could say 2x minus 7 is equal to y plus 5, which is true because they're equilateral. So a second equation would be 2x minus 7 equals y plus 5. So let's simplify this. We'll have 2x minus y equals 7 plus 5, which will give us 12 here. So that's your second equation there. And when we solve them, we'll know x and y, and then we'll know the lengths of the sides. So we'll write that down as x minus y equals minus 2, and this is 2x minus y, which is 12, equation 2. So in this case, we could go equation 2 minus 1. So 2x minus x would be x, minus y minus negative y is going to be plus y, so this will cancel. 12 minus negative 2 is 14. So we'll get 14 for x. And then we can sub back to either equation. So how about equation 1? So we've got x minus y, which is minus 2. X is 14. So put it in there. 14 minus y equals minus 2. The y is going to be 16. Okay, so you could go back and then calculate the length of each side, and you should get the same number, shouldn't you? So we're going to get 16 plus 5, 21. 16 plus 14 is 30, minus 9 is 21. And 2 times 14 minus 7, 28 minus 7, that's also 21. So it looks like we did it correctly because we got the same numbers on each side. So the length of our side, of the side, is 21 centimeters. And that's your answer there. In example 6, we have a fraction question. We have a fraction that will equal a half if 1 is subtracted from both the numerator and denominator. It is equal to 2/3 if 1 is added to both the numerator and denominator. We want to find that fraction. So how about we let the fraction let your fraction equal x on y. Okay, we need to find x and y here. And it says that that fraction equals a half if 1 is subtracted from both the numerator and denominator. So subtract 1 from the numerator and subtract 1 from the denominator, and we'll get a half for the answer. Okay, we'll simplify this first before we do the second equation. So multiply both sides by 2. That will cancel this 2 here. So then we'll end up with 2 x minus 1 on y minus 1 equals 1. And now you don't want the y minus 1, so we do exactly the same. We multiply by y minus 1, top and bottom, and that will cancel this one. So we'll end up with our equation 2 x minus 1 equals 1 times y minus 1. Well, that's y minus 1. This will be our first equation. So we'll simplify it. So 2x minus 2 equals y minus 1, and rearrange. So 2x minus y equals 2 minus 1, which is 1. So that's equation 1. Highlight that. Okay, so then for the second one, then it's equal to 2/3 if 1 is added to both the numerator and denominator. So if we add them, we'll have x plus 1 on y plus 1 equals 2/3. So this is our second equation here. So then we can cross multiply. The quick way is basically take your 3 up, put it up here. 3 x plus 1 equals, take your y plus 1 and put it up to here. So then you get 2 y plus 1. So we could have cross multiplied this one, but the way I did it here is the long way, but here is the shortcut. So basically you take your y plus 1 and put it to the top. Then you take your 3 and put it up here. That's all I did. That's called cross multiplying. So now we'll expand. 3x plus 3 equals 2y plus 2. So let's rearrange. 3x minus 2y equals minus 3 plus 2. Well, that would be minus 1. And that's equation 2. So those are our 2 equations. So let's put them together and solve them. We'll do that in red. So 2x minus y equals 1. And then we have 3x minus 2y equals minus 1, equation 2. So I'm seeing a minus y and a minus 2y. So I'm thinking I'll multiply 1. I'm going to multiply equation 1 by 2. So that will give us 4x minus 2y equals 2. That's still equation 1. So these are our two equations, this one and this one. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking now we can add them or subtract them actually. So I'm going to do 1 minus 2. So 4x minus 3x will be x. Minus 2 minus negative 2 will cancel. 2 minus negative 1 is 3. So in this case, x equals 3. So that's this number here. So now we need to find y. So we can put that back into either equation. Let's use that one. So 2 times 3 minus y equals 1. 6 minus y equals 1. Y must be 5. Okay, so y is 5. So those are your two answers that you need. So then your fraction answer, what was the original question? X on y. So that means that your answer is going to be 3 on 5. In example 7, we're dealing with the ages of mothers and daughters. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got the sum, so addition, the sum of the ages of a mother and her daughter is 52 years. 8 years ago, in the past, the mother was 8 times as old as her daughter. How old is the mother now? Okay, so what we do, we let them equal x and y first. So let x equals the mother's age now. And we let y equal the daughter's age. That's also now. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll make a kind of a table. So this is the age now. And we've got mother and daughter. And so the mother is X and the daughter is Y. And in this question, it says the sum of the ages of the mother and daughter is 52. So this statement here tells me that X plus Y is 52. Okay, this will be your first equation. And then in the second part, it says 8 years ago. So this is 8 years ago. Well, if she's X years old now, 8 years ago, she was X minus 8, right? For the mother. And then the daughter, similarly, was Y minus 8. That's how old she was 8 years ago. So if you're X now, 8 years ago, you're X minus 8. Okay, so we're going to need this information here. And it says 8 years ago, the mother was 8 times as old as her daughter. So that means if we multiply the daughter's age by 8, we should get the mother's age because the daughter's younger. You multiply the younger person by the number to give the older person. So 8 times y minus 8 equals x minus 8. This will be equation 2. So let's write our equations again in red. So we've got x plus y equals 52. I guess we should simplify this. So this would be 8y minus 64 equals x minus 8. So we're going to get x minus 8y equals minus 56 as the second equation. So we'll use this. So we'll write that here. X minus 8y equals minus 56 as equation 2. So we can subtract these. So 1 minus 2. So x minus x, cancel. Y minus negative 8. 1 minus negative 8 will be 9. The 9y equals 52 minus negative 56, that's 108. The y in this case is 12. So that means the daughter is 12 years old now. So then how old is the mother then? She is 12 plus y, which is 52. So in this case, the mother must be 40 years old. Okay, so this is the mother's age. And that's how old the mother is now. That was actually the answer there, this one. It doesn't ask for the daughter's age, but we calculate anyway. This is example 8, our last example. We have a 2-digit number such that the sum of the digits is 11. When the number with the same digits is reversed, is subtracted from this number, the difference will be 9. What is the number? So we can have the first digit equal x, the second digit equals y. So the first sentence is that x plus y equals 11. That's the easy part. But the harder part is from the second sentence here. When the number with the same digits is reversed, is subtracted from this number, the difference is 9. So we need to think about what the actual number is. So for example, if the answer was 38, this would be written as 30 plus 8, which is 3 times 10 plus 8. Notice here, our digits are x, y. Okay, so that needs to be written as 10x plus y. So this would be 10x plus y. So that's the actual number. The digit is xy, but the actual number is 10x plus y. So this is actual number. Okay. So if that's 38, what is 83 then? This would be 10y, or 10 times 8 plus 3, which is 10y plus x. That's when you reverse it here, when the number is reversed. So 38 is like writing 10x plus y. 83 is like writing 10y plus x. So our second equation is when we subtract this number from this one, the answer will be 9. So we'll have 10x plus y, subtract 10y plus x, we'll get 9. So this is a tricky bit for the second part of the sentence here. This is your example here. That's not the answer. I'm just showing you how it's working. So this is equation 2. So we should simplify this. 10x plus y minus 10y minus x equals 9. So 10x minus x is 9x. Minus 10y plus y minus 9y equals 9. So this is equation 2 here. If you divided everything by 9, you'll get x minus y equals 1 as equation 2. So it simplifies quite well. So we have 10x, we have x plus y equals 11. So these are our two equations. So the first one, let's try to solve them. So x plus y equals 11. And this is x minus y equals 1. So how about we add the equations? X plus x, 2x, y minus y is 0. 11 plus 1 is 12. So x will be 6. Okay? And then from this equation, 6 plus y equals 11. So y must be 5. Okay? So that means our number, which is xy, must be 65. That's your final answer. So we can check it, which you should do. So we've got 65. Now, the sum of the digits is 11, yes or no? 6 plus 5 is 11. Correct. Now, the second bit, when the number with the same digits is reversed and subtracted from the number, we get 9. So that's like saying 65 minus 56. When you reverse your digits, you'll get 9, and that's also true. So we know that 65 is the correct answer to the problem.